Hundreds of families living in our city could end up homeless as a result of cuts included in President Trump's new spending plan. That's according to a new report by the homeless shelter nonprofit organization Quinn. In addition to the cuts to health insurance and food assistance that we've covered in recent months, the president's plan would also slash funding to federal rental assistance programs and public housing. The dangers posed by the cuts and how the city is preparing or not preparing were the focus of a city council hearing just yesterday, a hearing that the Adams administration skipped. Joining me now to talk more about what is facing our city is former City Council Speaker Quinn. She serves as the president and CEO of Quinn. Welcome back to the program. Great to see you. So the legislation, I guess the summary is that about $15.4 billion is jeopardized that would be taken away from New York. Up to 1.5 million in our state could lose their health coverage, I guess half at least in the city. Over 260,000 could immediately lose food assistance benefits. This will have catastrophic results, is what you're suggesting.
Massive. It will have massive, terrible results. And what we have to do in response to that is continue to fight the budget proposals. And we have to support our elected officials who are doing that and push the ones who aren't doing that. I want to say, a lot of what's in the Senate and the House budget is better, not better enough, but is a step in the right direction. And then when it's all said and done, whatever we lose, and I hope it's less, not giving up the fight, but whatever we lose, the city and the state have to fill that gap. Right now, we are at an all-time high of people in shelter in the city. That's not even including people on the street. And 70% of the people in shelter are families with children. There are more children in shelter tonight than there are seats in Yankee Stadium. If we let these cuts go through one way or the other, those numbers will skyrocket.
Do you think, it's unclear how all of this is going to play out, but there's been some talk about Democrats withholding their votes and actually sort of causing the government to grind to a halt later this month if some of these deep cuts continue.
That is a strategy that is being considered. Obviously that's a tough choice because then you kind of leave a lot in the hands of President Trump exclusively, which is obviously very dangerous because he's a person who proposed these cuts. And we're talking about things like 9,000 people losing supportive housing. We run supportive housing. It's permanent housing with special needs services. So the most vulnerable New Yorkers, the people don't want on the street, right? People with mental illness, substance abuse issues, losing their subsidies and losing their home.
Yeah. That's. In fact, I want to draw extra attention to that. I saw it in your report. These are people who need the so-called wraparound services. These are people who are not on their own going to be able to find an apartment. And the problem here is that there are going to be 2-year time limits on their support from Washington and cuts to what's called continuum of care.
Right.
So, this is reminiscent in a prior generation of what happened with deinstitutionalization, where they closed Willowbrook and some of the big, poorly run mental health facilities, and people just ended up on the street because there was nothing there. So we certainly want to avoid that. 9,000 residents is a lot.
It's a lot. We could, like that at Quinn, lose almost $4 million. We run 5 congregate supportive housing, 200 apartments. These are people who can only thrive independently with extra help. Exactly the kind of people you want to get extra help. Domestic violence survivors, people who've aged out of foster care and have a child, substance abuse, mental health. It makes no sense. They'll end up on the street and back in shelter, which at the end of the day is going to cost the taxpayers more than what we were getting from the federal government.
Okay. You suggested in your support also that, higher tax on upper income New Yorkers might be a way to come up with some of the money. Are there efficiency measures as well? Because you and I have talked in the past about some things that the city could do that would really sort of save a lot of wasted money.
Right now, a night in shelter for one of our families is close to $300 a night. A night with our family living independently with a housing voucher is about $75 a night. So if we sped up the administrative procedures for getting people their vouchers so they can move out, we would save a lot of money. Right now, the average length of stay at a Quinn shelter is 11.1 months. If we could shave months off of that, it would be better for the family, really better for the children, and it would save the taxpayers money we desperately need right now.
Are administrative holds up or delays in delivering the vouchers, is that deliberate? I know in prior administrations, sometimes it was seen as what's called a moral hazard question, to make sure people aren't faking, so you make them wait long enough to ensure that they really do need it.
There used to be a rule that said you had to be in shelter 90 days before you could even apply, and that's a lengthy process. I think that was a holdover from the Giuliani administration who wanted to make people suffer. I think now that is really gone. It's just bureaucracy at its worst. The commissioner, Molly Park, is trying to address it, but it needs to be sped up quickly.
Okay. Of the candidates who are running for mayor now, does any have a set of policies or proposals that you think is especially interesting and worth thinking about for the next 4 years?
Well, no one in the mayor's race, in the primary or in the general, in my opinion, has paid enough attention to the issue of homelessness, family homelessness, or how we generate more housing. That said, there are a number of really bad things that Eric Adams has done recently that would really penalize homeless people, put them at risk of losing their permanent housing. Mondami is the only candidate in the race now who has said that he will roll those back immediately if he takes mayor.
Say more about that. What in particular are you talking about?
So right now, if you're a homeless person and you have a voucher, you pay 30% of your income towards your rent. The voucher covers the rest. Mayor Adams has changed it so at a certain point you have to pay 40% of your income into it. That is extremely rent burdened. No homeless person is going to see their income, formerly homeless person, go up that much. Candidate Mondami has signed a pledge saying he will immediately go back to 30%, among other commitments.
Okay. We'll have to take this up with them at the debate. Thanks so much for coming by. Great talking with you.
Thank you.
Okay.